Since the receptionist is currently occupied, you swipe a shark tooth from the display case. You quickly take the sign into your possession. You open up the brochure and look at the map. Feeling no remorse, you viciously stab the tree with the pointed end of the picket sign. If the environmentalist saw what you were using his sign for, he'd kill you. Being careful not to get any on your hands, you soak the hair in the sap. You manage to weave the sticky hair into a necklace and attach it to the shark tooth. You open up the brochure and look at the map. You stick the pen into the slot, and whatever was blocking it falls through the machine and into the coin return below. It seems your tampering with the coin slot has activated the robot.
Hello, welcome to Everglades National Park. I am Sharpened Sawgrass, the shaman. For your generous donation, I will now give you good fortune by performing the blessing dance.
The robot begins some horrible gyration. This really is the most insulting thing you've seen in a long time. You reach into the coin slot and find a quarter and an odd little piece of carved rock. You place the amulet in the robot's hand. With the amulet on the robot, you insert the quarter and hope this does the trick.
Hello, welcome to Everglades National Park. I am Sharpened Sawgrass, the shaman. For your generous donation, I will now give you good fortune by performing the blessing dance.
After the robot concludes its little jig, you remove the amulet from its hand. It hasn't exactly been blessed by an authentic shaman, but you hope Rick won't notice. You open up the brochure and look at the map.
Here, I got you your amulet.
Hey, great. Okay, we'll be ready to go as soon as I get a few supplies together.
I'll meet you outside the station in a few minutes then.
Here we are. This area is where we found all the other victims of the Skunk-Ape.
And we're going to camp here?
Yeah, the Skunk-Ape is probably nearby. I think this will be a good place to start tracking him from.
How exactly are we going to find him?
We'll go out looking for him later. In the meantime, I'm gonna start setting up the tent. You can look around if you want, but be careful you don't get lost. It may not seem like it, but it's really easy to lose your way out there. In fact, here, take my compass. It should come in handy.
Thanks, I guess.
You look through Rick's backpack and find a small bottle of nasal decongestant.
Hey, Rick, mind if I borrow this for a little while?
Not a problem. Be my guest.
You don't see the need to use the decongestant right now. You spray the nasal decongestant in your nose and take a deep breath. That sure cleared out your sinuses. Taking a deep breath, you notice a strange odor which seems to be coming from the west. You take a deep breath. You think you smell something to the north. You inhale deeply. There's definitely something smelly to the east. You take a deep breath. You think you smell something to the north. Taking a deep breath, you notice a strange odor which seems to be coming from the west. Getting a lung full of air, you determine that there's an odor coming from the south. Taking a deep breath, you notice a strange odor which seems to be coming from the west. You take a deep breath. You think you smell something to the north. Taking a deep breath, you notice a strange odor which seems to be coming from the west. Upon entering the mound, you're struck with a distinct odor of rotten eggs, moldy cheese, and dung.
Man, it stinks in here. I guess I found the Skunk-Ape's lair.
Searching the nest, you find a large stick. Striking the steel compass and flint arrowhead together creates a spark. The two items don't go together. You strike the compass and arrowhead and light the stick with the resulting spark. Your heart beating quickly, you toss the lit stick into the pit.
Rick,
What's the matter, Ben? You look like you've seen a ghost.
I found the Skunk-Ape's lair.
Was it inside?
Luckily, no, but I looked around and found a big hole in the ground. Inside the hole, I found a whole bunch of packets of cocaine.
Cocaine? Are you sure?
Well, I doubt the Skunk-Ape is collecting sugar.
Why would there be a stash of drugs in the Skunk-Ape's lair?
Your guess is as good as mine.
Well, good job on your discovery, Ben. I'm sure we'll figure out the deal with the drugs.
So what do we do now?
We should check out the lair together, but I think we should wait until dark, just in case the Skunk-Ape is around. We have a better chance of not being detected under the cover of darkness.
Okay, sounds good to me.
I've just finished setting up camp. Why don't you get a fire started and we'll cook some dinner?
Alright, I'm on it. And I realized that a career in international relations wasn't what I wanted, so I decided to become a freelance paranormal investigator.
That's an interesting career option. I don't think there'd be much call for that sort of thing nowadays. But then here you are, so I guess you made the right choice.
I've been wondering about something. Has the Skunk-Ape ever been active before this set of attacks?
Not that I can remember. I mean, there were stories about it, but never any actual evidence of its existence.
It's weird that it would just start attacking people for no reason. Well, maybe not no reason. There has to be some explanation for the drugs in the cave.
Speaking of which, I think it's about time we headed over there and checked it out. Have you got your rifle handy?
Yeah, I've got it right here.
You know how to use it, right?
Well, no, actually. I've never really fired a gun before.
You better let me carry it then, just in case we get into trouble.
Okay, here you go.
Alright, let's get going. So this is it, huh?
This is it.
Are you sure it's a good idea to be going in alone?
If the Skunk-Ape is in there, I'll just come back out.
Okay, I've got you covered.
Much to your relief, you see that the Skunk-Ape has not returned to its lair yet. Suddenly, you hear some commotion outside.
Rick!
Be careful, Ben. This thing means business. Alright, you stinking ape. Get ready to meet whatever crazy entity made you.
What? You're going to shoot it?
Do you know how much the Smithsonian would pay to have one of these things on display? I can make enough money to get out of this swamp and start a real life.
But I thought you said you liked being a park ranger.
You try spending your days being bitten by mosquitoes and lectured by smelly old hippies and tell me how you'd like it. Now, if you'll excuse me, I have to shoot this animal.
Rick, look out!
What the?
After running for what feels like hours, you finally seem to have lost the Skunk-Ape. Now it's just a question of finding your way out of this forest. You decide to see if anyone is home.
Just a minute. Now who could that be at this time of night? Who is it?
My name's Ben Jordan. I'm being chased by a giant monster.
Oh yeah, that sounded perfectly reasonable.
Crazy kid. Alright, hold on a sec. Come on in.
Thanks, sir. I really appreciate you letting me in.
Call me Jed. You ain't from around these parts, are you?
No, actually, I'm not.
So what are you doing out in the woods this late at night?
Have you ever heard of the Skunk-Ape?
Did you say the Skunk-Ape was chasing you?
Yeah, you know about it?
Boy, you've been living in the woods as long as I have. You've seen everything. How'd the Skunk-Ape find you anyway?
Well, I found him, actually. I was looking for his lair with a ranger from the park.
I see. And did you find it?
Yeah, we were looking into that when the Skunk-Ape showed up and killed the ranger.
You don't say. Well, Ben, I'm gonna go call a friend of mine. He'll be able to help you get out of here and back to safety. Make yourself at home in the meantime. I'll be right back.
Jed disappears into the next room. You're left with a somewhat uneasy feeling, particularly because you thought you noticed his attitude change a bit when you mentioned the Skunk-Ape's lair.
Well, I guess I should have told you not to come in here when I said make yourself at home.
Wait a minute, those were your drugs in the Skunk-Ape's lair?
That's right. I was wondering how you'd managed to get away. Usually the Skunk-Ape manages to protect my stash from anyone who gets too close.
So you've been using the Skunk-Ape to guard your drugs? How?
It's pretty simple, really. I go into the city and steal the drugs for myself off the ships in the port. Then I hide them out here in the middle of the woods where the police wouldn't think to come look. One day I happened to find the Skunk-Ape's lair. It was gonna do me in until I remembered I had some cocaine in my pocket.
Don't tell me you...
Yep, I gave the Skunk-Ape a little taste and he loved it. From that day forward he was like a big stinky pet.
That's so cruel.
So I took advantage and started using his cave. I even managed to get an electronic collar on him so I could give him a little shock if he gets out of control. Or if I need to give him a call, like right now.
You're a sick bastard, you know that?
I've been called worse. Now say hello to my little friend.
Thinking quickly, you lunge towards the table. Ben, you back already? What happened?
It's a long story, but the Skunk-Ape won't be a problem anymore.
What about Rick?
He didn't make it.
What a shame. Well, I guess you've done your job, so I'll write you a check for your services.
Thanks, Ernie. I'd stick around, but I'm in a desperate need of a shower.
Alright, Ben. Take care of yourself.
So that's how I broke into the whole paranormal investigating thing, and managed to survive it. Needless to say, the next few months would be filled with more mysteries and danger than I ever thought possible. But those are stories for another time.
Senor, I have good news. We've found another one.
Excellent.